Hey everybody, Simba Sickness here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. And today, I picked myself up 3 UMDs and 3 Blu-rays as well, so let's take a look at what I got. Today on the way home from work, I decided to stop at one of my local GameStops, a store I don't usually frequent too often. I'm not a gamer, but they do sell PSP games and PSP movies. So I definitely wanted to go in since I hadn't been in a while, see if they got anything new in, maybe they had some sales going on or something. Unfortunately, they did not have any sales going on, but they did have some titles that were actually marked down to only $1.97. So of course, had to grab a few of them, and the first one I picked up was Coach Carter. Not the greatest movie in the world, I don't absolutely love this movie, but I do enjoy it. It was a good movie, already have it on DVD, so I definitely want to get myself a UMD copy as well. Then I picked up Secondhand Lions, and this movie I really enjoyed. Also had this one on DVD as well. This was a great watch. Checked this one out a few years ago. Absolutely loved it. So for $1.97, definitely want to get myself a UMD copy. And the third and final UMD I picked up was Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I love this film. I love the entire El Mariachi trilogy. Those are all great, great films. This is another one that I do have on DVD, but since I love it so much, for $1.97, definitely had to get myself a UMD copy. So that was it for the UMDs I got from my local GameStop. But I also grabbed myself 3 Blu-rays today, 2 which I got for absolutely free. And the way I pulled that off is, I stole them from my wife. She is well aware of how this relationship works. If she gets a movie on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever format that I want to have in my collection, I'm going to steal it from her and take it out of her collection and put it in mine. She's well aware that that's just how things go in this household. So this weekend, she ran out to Best Buy, traded in some DVDs using the Upgrade and Save program, got herself a few Blu-rays that she wanted to grab. 2 of them I wanted to have in my collection, so I took them today. And the first one I grabbed was The Notebook. Now this one I do have on DVD, but upgrading to Blu-ray for absolutely free sounded good to me. And the second title I stole from my wife was 30 Minutes or Less. She picked this one up because it's a movie that we actually both wanted to see. We figured we could sit down, check this one out together. I've heard good things about this. It gets pretty decent reviews. Though, oddly, when it was out in theaters, I heard really nothing about it. It wasn't until it came out to DVD and Blu-ray that I started to actually read some good reviews on this movie. So I definitely look forward to checking it out for free. That was a great deal. And the last Blu-ray I got today actually came in the mail. Ordered this off of Amazon. Paid under $4 for this. Brand new, still factory sealed. And that title was Kiss of the Spider-Woman. Yes, I paid under $4 for this, and that includes shipping. It was only, I think it was only 2 something, and then with shipping it came out to 3 something. So, an amazing deal. I have no idea why the seller had this listed as so cheap. In fact, on Blu-ray.com, there were a whole bunch of these listed for dirt cheap, and somebody actually posted that there were so many listed for dirt cheap, and we all started picking them up. I had to definitely order one. This is a movie I've never seen. I've only ever heard about it, but I really don't even know much of what the movie's about. So for under $4 on Blu-ray, brand new, I was definitely picking it up. So that's it for what I bought today, so now on to what I watched. And today's first Halloween Horrorthon title was Scary Godmother, Halloween Spooktakular. This here is a Halloween special I watch every single year, because this is fantastic. I fell in love with this movie a few years ago when I picked this one up. I bought it as a blind buy. I really had no idea really what it was about. I'd read some decent reviews on it, and it was dirt cheap, so I figured, what the hell, I'll pick it up, check it out, maybe I'll enjoy it. And I fell in love with this, because I grew up with Halloween specials like The Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, Garfield's Halloween special, the Alvin and the Chipmunks Halloween special, you know, all the classics are what I grew up with. And those are great Halloween specials that really capture the essence of Halloween and put you in that great Halloween spirit. Even later on, specials like the Halloween Tree that I didn't necessarily grow up with, but I did watch. They were really great and really well done Halloween specials. So this one here, I fell in love with because it had been such a long time since I'd seen a really good and really well done Halloween special that did capture the essence of Halloween and did put you in the mood for Halloween, that when I watched this, I was blown away because this movie did perfectly capture the essence of Halloween and did really get me in the mood for Halloween. It was just so well done that I immediately fell in love with this, and I knew I'd be watching it every year, and like I said, I do watch this one every year. The story, it's pretty basic. It's a bunch of kids, and one of them has a little girl with him, and they stick her in a spooky house to scare her because they figure she would run off, go home, and then go trick-or-treating without her. Well, she ends up getting scared and meets her scary godmother, who's actually throwing a Halloween party with a bunch of different monsters. She ends up befriending all these monsters, realizing that monsters aren't really scary. And it just goes through them throwing this Halloween party and them being in the Halloween party. And then eventually at the end, all the monsters and the little girl get together and they scare off the big kids who stuck her in the house. But it has just a great, great Halloween feeling to it. And like I said, really gets you in the mood for Halloween. Something I mentioned last year, and one of the parts I really like about this, is the extremely flamboyantly gay character in this movie. He is the skeleton. In fact, he's the skeleton in the closet. And there are tons of winks and nods like that to him being homosexual. And I think that's great. You don't see that really ever. Even nowadays, you do not see that in children's TV specials or anything really for children at all. You just don't see gay characters. And the fact that they put one in here, and it's pretty obviously he's gay. He has a very strong lisp, and again, just so many things he says are winks and nods to us older folks, just to know, yeah, he is a gay character. And I think that is really, just really cool they actually did that. The fact that they actually had the balls to put a gay character in their TV special. I think that was really cool of them to do that. So that is just one of the other things I love about this Halloween special. But again, it has a great, great essence of Halloween. It just really puts you in this mood. One of the best Halloween specials I had seen, again, since I was a little kid. So this is fantastic. And if you love great Halloween specials, you gotta pick this one up. You can get it right now at places like Kmart. You can get this and the sequel for $5 a piece. A fantastic deal. So definitely pick these up and put them in your collection. And the last Halloween Horathon title I checked out today was Prometheus. And this I actually really enjoyed. Thought it was a great movie. Definitely a great horror sci-fi film. I wasn't quite sure what to expect going into it though, because I'd heard a lot of really positive reviews and a lot of really negative reviews. So I wasn't quite sure how this movie was going to pan out, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I can see why some people didn't like it though, or why they gave it like a more negative review. There were some slow parts, there wasn't a lot of excitement in the movie. I would have to say, as far as living up to the first Alien movie, it didn't necessarily. The first Alien movie is fantastic. This one is just pretty good. So it didn't quite live up to its I guess, sequel, you could kind of say. Didn't really live up to that, but it didn't matter. It was still a well-done movie, and I would recommend checking it out. One of the things I was kind of split between, though, is, I went into this movie expecting it to be a straight-up prequel to Aliens. That's kind of what I thought it was, because that's what I'd heard it was. But after I'd watched it, I went, that really didn't seem like a straight prequel. So I actually looked up some things that the writers and director had to say about the movie, and apparently this isn't a direct prequel. It takes place in the same universe, and it definitely has some things about it that are a prequel to the Alien movies, but all in all, this isn't necessarily a 100% direct prequel to the Alien movies. It's its own movie. They wanted to make this its own thing, not a straight 100% prequel, just something that kind of, sort of, is a prequel-ish. And I kind of like that, but at the same time, I did kind of want to see a straight-up Alien prequel. I was kind of hoping for that. But with that being said, I did like how they decided to go in the direction of making it its own movie that just kind of winked and nodded to the Alien movie and was only somewhat of a prequel. I then also read a lot of people and their thoughts on certain parts of this movie and how they relate to the Alien movie. Whether I agree with all that or not, I'm not sure. Some people had some really far-out theories on how this movie relates to the Alien franchise, and it was a little interesting. Whether or not, again, everything I read was true or not, I don't know, but definitely some interesting theories about how this movie relates to the Alien series out there. I recommend reading some of those. It's pretty interesting. But again, I thought it was pretty interesting that they actually went in that direction. And it was, again, a good, for the most part, horror sci-fi movie. I mean, like I said, it did have some slow parts. There wasn't a lot of action and excitement in it, but it definitely worked for what it was, and I really enjoyed it. The downfall of this is they leave a ton of doors open. There are a lot of open questions at the end of this movie. But from what I heard, they are doing a sequel. Although I've also read some mixed things about that. I read some things about the sequel being a direct prequel to Alien to link these two movies together. And I'd also heard that they're not going to do that. They're going to make it just like this one, where it's its own story, but with some some little winks and nods to the Alien movie to kind of make it somewhat of a prequel, but still keep it its own series. I heard that as well. So either way, I think it sounds like a good idea, and I'm definitely excited for a sequel to this because, as I said, there are a lot of questions left open at the end of this movie, tons of stuff they need to answer. So I'm really hoping they do that in the sequel. So all in all, a great movie, and I would definitely recommend it if you're into sci-fi films. If you like the Alien franchise, then it's definitely worth picking up as well. So Prometheus, good movie. So that's it for what I bought and what I watched today. Definitely excited about all the UMDs I picked up today, especially for only $1.97 a piece. That was a great deal there. Also getting all those Blu-rays, especially the 2 I got for absolutely free that I stole from my wife, and getting Kiss of the Spider-Woman for under $4 off of Amazon. That was a steal. So very excited about that. Also watching Scary Godmother Halloween Spooktakular. As I said, it is a fantastic Halloween TV special, one of my all-time favorites, and I would definitely recommend picking it up and adding it to your collection. And finally, watching Prometheus. I enjoyed it. Thought it was good. Had some, as I said, slow moments. Maybe could have been more exciting. Maybe some people really wanted it to be a direct prequel to the Alien franchise. But all in all, I thought it worked on its own. Thought it was a good movie. And I recommend checking it out. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya. So that was it for the UMDs I picked up from GameStop, but I also got myself 3 Blu-rays today, 2 which I picked up for absolutely free, and the way I pulled that off is I stole them from my wife. That was so cheesy. It doesn't really matter because it is a TV special and it works. You're not really thinking about how bad the graphics, or well, the special, God, son of a bitch. I wasn't quite sure what to expect in this movie, because I had heard a lot of really good reviews at first, and then a lot of really negative reviews later on when it actually was released. So I wasn't quite sure if it was going to be... I could see why some people didn't like it. It wasn't nearly as good as the original.